Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a slow, calm breath of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow yourself to release any feelings of tension, perhaps any worries, any sensations of stress, and feel that they are leaving your body in your outward breath. Create, just within your imagination, a representation of a bright, glowing color. And when you breathe in, imagine breathing in that bright, glowing color. And imagine that this color represents whatever resources you need right now. Feel that color go in through your nose, down into your lungs, and allow your heart to distribute this resourceful emotion to every cell of your body. And feel that the opposite sensation, perhaps any doubts, worries, concerns, just feel that they're leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathe in that vibrant, bright color and feel a dark, shadowy color leaving your body in your outward breath. As you consider this an emotional transfusion, giving your mind, your body, your unconscious everything it needs right now, and just release whatever is holding you back. I want you to imagine a tree growing in an environment that is always sunny and never has any wind. Imagine that tree growing, and it grows tall until one day there's a storm. And in that storm, the tree that is not used to strong winds becomes uprooted and falls. And contrast that with a tree that constantly experienced fierce winds, stormy weathers, that for that tree, the roots grew deeper. The ability for that tree to withstand a storm became effortless. As you accept the idea that the strongest trees have withstood the fiercest storms. And I wonder if you could imagine volunteering to put yourself in an environment of consistent storms, and imagine just how strong you would become. Adversity and difficulties are the gift of resilience and competency. The best sports people in the world have faced the toughest competition. They didn't win every game, and they didn't need to, because even in their losses was the gift of lessons. Through the temporary failures, was the ability to learn, reflect, to become better. And I want you to imagine the next few months as a boot camp for you. An environment where you will be given the gift of challenging clients, volatile variables. Maybe you're experiencing 3 or 4 or 5 storms a day. But each difficult moment gives you the ability to become more resilient, more confident, more intuitive and wiser. And 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, into the future, you will feel grateful for all of those challenging clients. I want you to think of the idea of training at altitude. Some athletes volunteer to go up into the mountains and do their cycling or their running up in the mountains where the oxygen is thinner. They're volunteering to put themselves in a more difficult situation than their future demands are ever likely to be. But in doing so, they are allowing their body to adapt so that when they return to normal altitudes, their lungs are more efficient, their muscles able to do more with the oxygen they have, and it becomes a superpower. And I want you to think of the next few months as you training at altitude, knowing that in the future, the clients will be different, perhaps more invested, that they want to be there rather than being forced to be there. But you will adopt the belief that when you've dealt with some of the most difficult, challenging situations available, everything else will feel like a leisurely walk in the park. So imagine that walk in the park. As you imagine how it will be for you 2, 3, 4 years into the future, and start thinking about your future career and what that will be like. And as you do so, think back to those early challenging clients with a smile. It was the challenging nature that gave you so much experience, confidence, so much inner belief. And I want you to imagine feeling all of that future confidence, future belief, future wisdom, all of that capability now in the moment. Experience it, just as you would if you were teleporting into the future. And just feel that you're accessing all of those future resources now. And you know it's possible to do that. Because this is the opposite of anxiety. Anxiety is feeling a sense of trepidation in the moment based on a future possibility. And if you can feel anxious for something that hasn't happened and may not happen, then it's possible to feel confident, resourceful, full of confidence for something that could have happened in your past. So breathe in that confidence. Breathe in that resilience. Breathe in a sense of belonging. And exhale any doubts, any worries. I want you to think of a spectrum. At one end is feeling like an imposter. And at the other end is feeling like you know it all, even when you don't. And most people want to feel like they know it all. But those people that experience that Dunning-Kruger effect have no appetite to become better, to learn, to work on their deficiencies, because they assume that they already have all of the skills that they need. But feeling like an imposter also isn't optimal. Because what if the feeling of not belonging becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy? So place yourself in the middle of that spectrum, that you have some fears and worries simply because you don't have that experience yet. But also feel that you can have more confidence simply based on all of the other challenging things you've accomplished and overcome in your life. That is sufficient to give you a sense of confidence that you will simply find a way. A child was asked, "How do you eat an elephant?" And the child responds, "One bite at a time." And I want you to start thinking not of 5 months of relentless challenges, but just each client one at a time, manageable portions where you will learn something on every interaction. So breathe in that resourcefulness and start seeing yourself over the next few weeks looking more resourceful with strategies and approaches to clearly set boundaries, diffuse aggression. See yourself becoming better and better, wiser and more resilient. If you could imagine a pathway of ever increasing competency, let me know by nodding your head. And the price of admission for competency is challenge. If it was so easy, you wouldn't learn and you wouldn't get better. So accept the gift of adversity, challenge and difficulty, knowing that the reward and benefit is that you become better than ever. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, still connecting with that wonderful feeling of resourcefulness as we return to the here and now. Starting to count 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.